What's up, Tesla fans? I had to do a video like this time. This is the moment to cheer. This is inclusion to the S&P 500 of the Tesla stock. So I wanted to share my thoughts on what I think is going to happen from here on and why this is a significant milestone for Tesla. I think number one, it is important to understand that this is nothing but a hype. I mean, this doesn't change the fundamentals. The fundamentals are the same for Tesla. It's not like they're producing, exponentially more cars. It's not that we didn't know of like the production plants or any of the factory that they were going to put in. It's not like they got a huge, they found they found another way to make more money. It's none of that. It's essentially, for me, it's validation. It is the S&P 500. It is getting included into an index where companies make money. So it is the validation by the S&P committee that Tesla makes money and will continue to make money in the foreseeable future. There's no guarantee, of course. Like, I mean, Tesla can lose money, and a lot of S&P 500 companies do lose money, but it is a validation of a business. I think that's what it is. Second point is it is also an opportunity for people who are not aware of Tesla, or especially in the investment community, who are not paying close attention to Tesla, to pay close attention to the next revolution in transportation. Like, this is a revolution in how we thought about transportation, especially personal transportation, and broadly any kind of transportation. Like, for the longest time we thought that gasoline powered all sorts of transportation, which in this era, in Tesla's era, is not true anymore. You power yourself using electricity. So it is kind of a recognition of a shift in technology that's happening from gasoline, from internal combustion engines to electric cars, and especially battery powered electric cars. So it's a validation of not only the business model of selling cars, selling like exceptionally good cars, and how cars are to be serviced and how cars are to be distributed and sold. It's also a huge validation of the technology. And you will see this across the entire electric vehicle industry. It was kind of evident in the rise in other electric vehicle stocks. Not all of them will be successful for sure, but you saw across the board, like, NIO had been rising for a while. Xpeng, Lee Motors, Lucid is still not public yet, but if it were, then I would totally see, you know, a wave. I don't know, I forget that saying, but like, when there's a wave that comes through, it right, a wave takes up all the boats or whatever. I don't remember the saying, but it is kind of that moment where Tesla is creating that wave of validation for electric vehicles, and that kind of translates into other electric vehicle OEMs kind of benefiting from it. It's kind of the Tesla moment. The other thing I want to mention is that Tesla is the biggest company ever to be inducted in the S&P 500 by market cap. Like, inducting a roughly $400 million market cap company into S&P 500 is kind of unheard of. So what that tells you is how quickly Tesla went from being bankrupt. Like, I remember these days because I was in the middle of it last year, when I was still bullish on Tesla, and people were talking to me about how Tesla's going to go bankrupt. I don't remember the month, but it was probably in the second or third quarter of last year when there were talks of Tesla being bankrupt. Like, the stock was literally at around $180 per share, and that was pre-split. So what that translates into is less than $50 a share pre-split, and right now the stock is 500. So that's like 10x in 1 year. So if you timed it right, if you got into Tesla last year Q2 Q3, then there's no other way to time it. Like, even myself, like, I've been long Tesla since 2013, and I've been kind of sticking to my guns and had been investing slowly with little money I got into Tesla. But if you were a really smart investor and if you knew how to time it, you would have bought Tesla in Q2 Q3 of last year, and right now you'd be sitting at 10x returns. But anyways, that's besides the point. What that means is that within a year you went from bankruptcy to a 10x company to S&P 500 inclusion, which is night and day and in a very short period of time. The other thing I want to mention is that S&P with Tesla's inclusion should rethink about if they're S&P 500 or if they're S&P like 10 or maybe 20, because increasingly I can see that the top 10, 20 S&P companies are get the lion's share of the index, in the sense that they move the needle. So if they go down, the index goes down. If they go up, the index goes up. So regardless of what the remaining companies do, 480, 490 companies do, the top 10, top 20 companies move the index. So maybe there's time to rethink the S&P 500 index. I think it's losing its charm, but that's kind of ironic in a way that the time Tesla is joining the S&P 500 index, there's talks about S&P 500 or index investing losing its charm. I personally, I used to be maybe 3 years ago an S&P 500, staunch S&P 500 investor. Used to put more than 70-80% of my portfolio in it. But since then, I've slowly reduced my position in S&P 500 and started investing in companies that I believe in, and like Tesla, like Nvidia, like AMD, and a lot of tech companies. My specialty is tech. I like tech. I like growth companies, and that's what I've been investing into. So maybe that's a topic for a separate discussion. But I feel like S&P 500 is losing its charm. But that's besides the point. That's not about Tesla again. So the other thing I want to mention is that this is the opportunity for lots of investors who are not, maybe not long-term, but medium-term investors who are kind of speculating on Tesla, whether this will be the story of the year or not, to take profits. So if you're a Tesla investor, and if you had been around for a couple of years or something, or even if you invested last year, and if you don't believe in long-term vision or whatever, and you are risk averse, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, then maybe this is a time for you. This is a very good opportunity for you to take profits. Not that it will not replicate, because I'm a long-term investor, and I think that Tesla is going to $2 trillion, which is like 4 times from now. So it's like still 4x, gains remaining, and that's as far as I can see, and maybe it's even more when we have Apple, which was where Tesla is today, maybe 4 years ago. So who knows? Like in 5 years, maybe I'm proving wrong again, and like maybe Tesla over it goes way over 2 trillion. Who knows? But I'm a long-term investor, and I still see a 4x from here on. So if you're an investor who doesn't believe that, that's fine. You can still take your great returns and then take your profits, and then maybe go and invest somewhere else. If you're not, and if you want to stay along for the ride, then you can still kind of expect anywhere between 3 to 4x returns. I mean, some people, I think $1 trillion is probably pretty certain at this point. $2 trillion, maybe not that much, and that's what kind of makes you think what will get you $2 trillion. I mean, it's going to be a lot of service revenue. It's going to be a lot of software revenue. It's going to be revenue with like a lot of gross margin baked into it. It's going to be a lot of recurring revenue. It won't be the same business model as the other OEMs. It won't be just selling cars. It'll be more than that. It's going to be recurring revenue. It's going to be software revenue. It's going to be revenue from energy. So kind of the intersection of energy and transportation, which is the two industries are the biggest in the entire world. So, and Tesla is very well positioned to take over both of them, and they have the technology, they have the ambition, they have the vision, they have the customers who are excited about it. So I think those kind of having the technology, the ambition, the vision, and the customers kind of make it possible to attain a $2 trillion valuation. So I think that's where we're going. But if you want to take profits, maybe this is the time to take profits. So with that, Tesla investors, congrats to all of you, and stay safe. See you next time.